Do you think we're gonna be, like, engaged?
You want to be engaged?
I would feel better about our relationship and, like, more secure.
That's it. Amanda's officially lost her mind. Only a few days ago, she was ready to end the relationship. But as soon as Razvan pulled away, now she's all over him. Now she wants to get engaged. I'm lost.
It sounds like you don't even know if you want to be together with me right now.
I don't know.
I'm begging Razvan at this point to just let Amanda go home. Just move on. Just forget that this mess ever happened. Now, before we dive into all this drama, let's rewind back to the start of this episode. So we left the couple after meeting Razvan's family. And I think it's safe to say Razvan's parents need a bit more convincing about Amanda. They're not sold. But while Razvan's parents sensed that something was off, in the bedroom, things were very much on.
Last night, we have sex, I think 4 times. She just come to me, grab me and tell me, you need to me right now.
Now, they're both adults. They can do what they want. But it's interesting that Amanda wasn't very sexual with Razvan up until now. It's only now that he's begun pulling away. Now, suddenly, they're doing it 4 times a night. Like, it feels as if she's using sex as a tool to keep Razvan by her side.
I cannot say I'm 100% back to the relationship, but I'm happy that she's trying.
And Razvan's happy. I mean, what man wouldn't be? He's got a big smile on his face. He's getting some action at last. But that doesn't actually mean that their relationship's in a good place. It just means she's trying. So today, before they go back to Romania, Razvan has organised a day out at the beach with his family. He wants to give them all a chance to get to know each other better. So, as they arrive early, Razvan makes a point of ordering 2 energy drinks. It's like he really wants us to know how active they were last night. And thankfully, before things get too steamy on the beach, his family arrive. And it's good that they do, because Razvan desperately needs to talk to his mum.
I do love Amanda, but the last days have been incredibly confusing for me. I'm having a hard time to know what to do. My mother's opinion really matters.
Poor Razvan no longer trusts his own judgment after his ex-wife. After all, he loved her, and look what happened. He ended up broken-hearted, and his family still cries for him. So he pulls his mum aside to go for a little walk. He wants to know what her real opinion is of Amanda.
Vrei să mergem să ne plimbăm?
Da.
Haide.
I'm sorry, wait, what was that? Go back a second. Look at the intensity with which Amanda is picking toppings off her pizza. And yet she expects us to believe that she really enjoyed Razvan's mum's food. Come on, who's she kidding?
She's an amazing cook.
But back to Razvan and his mum.
I really hope that Razvan does not bring up our fights that we've had, because I don't want her to get the wrong impression.
Wrong impression? More like the right impression, Amanda. Maybe you should have thought about what Razvan's mum was going to think before you mistreated her son. Before you told him he was half the man your late husband was. I mean, regardless of what Razvan tells her now, she is going to see the show herself. She will eventually know the truth.
E foarte schimbătoare. Gen poate într-o zi să fie foarte dulce și într-un minut să se schimbă total și e foarte rea cu mine.
Look, we knew that Razvan was a mummy's boy, but it's so funny to see him literally go running to his mum and say, "She was so mean to me, mummy." Like Razvan's not holding back. He's spilling all the tea, and he's not painting Amanda in a very good light. So I'm not sure how Amanda's going to be able to come back from this.
Dar după aia pare rău. Da, pentru că încearcă să pună piedici în relație. Zice că din cauza traumelor.
This whole relationship feels like such a tightrope. It's a balancing act. Razvan wants to be supportive. He understands that she's still grieving, but at the same time, he can't overlook her toxic behaviour. So Razvan's looking for help. He's sharing everything with his mum and he's hoping for guidance.
Din câte îmi spui tu mie că ai suferit foarte mult?
Da, dar e bun. I can select.
Sometimes mums really do know best, don't they? She's laying it out for him in the simplest of terms. Are you suffering in this relationship, Razvan? Yes. Well then, it doesn't matter if Razvan loves Amanda. It doesn't matter if he understands the way she acts. At the end of the day, if he's suffering, then why be in this relationship? He deserves better. And Razvan's mum isn't done yet. She has another theory.
Nu sunt sigură dacă comportamentul lui Amanda este din cauza că i-a decedat soțul sau într-adevăr nu este o persoană stabilă.
Bingo, there it is. After giving her behaviour so much grace because of her loss, maybe, just maybe, Amanda's acting this way not because she's grieving, but because she has a shitty personality. Razvan seems to be a romantic at heart. Maybe he fell in love with Amanda thinking that she was this damsel in distress, someone he could maybe fix. But now that she's not acting the way that he imagined, he's having doubts.
Ai mai avut o relație, adică o căsnicie, nu o relație, ai greșit. Tot din cauza că ai avut încredere că se schimbă lucrurile și nu se schimbă.
He's done this before. Razvan dates the potential that he sees in women, maybe not the woman herself. So could Razvan be the problem? Well, yeah, to an extent, yes. Amanda's a flawed lady, but she hasn't hidden that from him. It's only now that Razvan's beginning to see her for what she is. And as day turns to night, they head out for a final date night in Croatia.
But at the same time, I am feeling insecure about Razvan's feelings because I'm worried about what he said to his mother.
Now, according to Amanda, the whole vibe shifted after Razvan and his mum returned from their walk. She's now panicking about what was discussed. She's sure that they were talking about her, and she knows that Razvan's mum has a history of not getting on with his past relationships. So Amanda's on a mission on this date night to find out exactly what was said. And as the pair settle in to play some 8-ball, Amanda broaches the subject.
Like, what did you talk about?
Well, I talked about our relationship. You know how things are, and it's all about our fights.
I think it's really sweet that Razvan's that close to his mum, but it's such an error to involve your parents in fights with people that you're dating. Razvan's mum is now going to have a really difficult time forgiving Amanda for mistreating her son. But if Amanda and Razvan end up staying together, it's going to make their relationship just that little bit more difficult. So I can understand why Amanda is so unimpressed when she learns about this.
Just to get an advice, like how to handle some things, you know, between us.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to hear what she said.
Yeah.
Because
Look at her face. She is not happy. But just to play devil's advocate here, how else is she supposed to react? Like, I'm okay cutting her some slack for this reaction. It's an awkward feeling knowing that other people know and are judging you because of your relationship problems.
When you involve other people into your relationship for advice, for counsel, for whatever it may be, when you involve them too much, it becomes a problem.
I know. Yes.
And that's true, but let's not go overboard, Amanda. One conversation by the sea can hardly count as being involved too much. What's happening here is Amanda would rather Razvan's family don't know how she's acted behind closed doors. But there's two problems with that. Firstly, if you're embarrassed for people to know how you've acted, then maybe don't act like that. And secondly, maybe don't go on a TV show.
Okay, whatever. You're being annoying. It's your turn.
This is why I told her, because sometimes you just change.
I don't want to have a fight. This is supposed to be a nice night.
She's the one that's upset. She's the one that's starting this fight. Yet she's the one that's trying to turn this round and pin it on Razvan. She's claiming that he's trying to fight with her. She's so passive-aggressive, and it feels like she's one step away from breaking the pool cue in half and whacking Razvan over the head with it. But if reports are to be believed, maybe that's not too out of character for her.
We only have a few days left before Amanda will leave to US, and I'm really scared that maybe she will not be able to change.
Razvan Razvan's still dating the woman he thinks that Amanda can be, but not the woman that's actually in front of him. He's waiting for her to change, but if she doesn't and their relationship falls apart in the future, can Razvan really only blame her when he knew what she was like from the start? Well, when we join them the next day, they've returned back to Romania, but it seems like they've taken all their tension back with them.
It's upsetting to feel like there hasn't been much progress in our relationship.
Razvan's back to work, he's back to live streaming, but something stood out to me. For a guy that does this as a career, his numbers sound a little low, don't they? If that's what he plans to do to support himself and Amanda and family when he arrives in America, then I'm not sure how he's going to do that with only 37 people watching his live stream. But I guess that's a problem for another day, if at all. For now, Amanda wants some clarity.
I want more solid answers and like an outlook for the future. Like we had a good time in Croatia. Everything has been going good. So when I leave.
In what universe is everything good? She's tripping, she's living in a different world to the rest of us. But now back in familiar territory, away from his family, Amanda is done playing the nice girlfriend. We all knew it was a matter of time. We all knew she wouldn't be able to keep up this act. She's annoyed at how long it's taking for Razvan to forgive her. And it's ironic that it's Amanda who now wants answers for what's going to happen to them after she leaves, when for so long, that was exactly what Razvan wanted.
Do you think we're gonna be like engaged?
You want to be engaged?
I would feel better about our relationship and like more secure.
Sorry, what? Amanda wants to be engaged now? Are you freaking kidding me? Less than a week ago, she was literally breaking up with Razvan. She's so hot and cold that it's impossible to keep up. With only 2 days left in Romania, it's obvious that she's panicking about potentially being dumped. She's worried about what she's going to say to her friends and family when she gets back home.
I want to feel like despite all of our fights, he's committed to me because I'm scared like when I leave that he will say, okay, you know what, our relationship isn't the best.
Yeah, excellent reason to get engaged, because you're scared of being broken up with. Great logic there, Amanda. That makes all the sense in the world. She didn't even want Razvan to come and visit her in America, and now she wants to get engaged. Razvan can't believe what he's hearing. He's as gobsmacked as I'm sure we all are.
I don't feel like I need to do this. 70% of the time were just fights.
Amanda's not happy with that answer, and her makeup choices today are making her look a little scary, if I'm honest. Amanda tries to defend their fights by saying it was her struggling to close a chapter in her life. She's using her grief again and again as an excuse. But the problem is, this time, Razvan has his mum's wisdom ringing in his ears. He's not willing to back down.
It's not about Jason, it's not about anything. So many things happen until this point. After so many things, you think I just need to forget everything.
Sorry, Razvan, but in Amanda's mind, the answer here is yes. She expects to be completely forgiven for everything she's done in this relationship. That's perhaps how it worked in her last marriage. She's an angel, she's faultless, she's going through grief, so you're just gonna have to forgive her. But Razvan isn't subscribing to that anymore. In fact, he's questioning the future of their relationship.
How can you want to be engaged with someone when we only have fights? Only because you want a commitment? I mean, the biggest commitment is I didn't give up until now.
Look, I get that Razvan's career involves making women lust over him. From that perspective, I can understand Amanda's insecurity. But from everything we've seen, Razvan's commitment to Amanda has never been up for question. In everything he's done, he's acted with integrity. So it's laughable that she's expecting an engagement because she's now feeling insecure in this relationship. Doesn't feel so good when the shoe's on the other foot, does it, Amanda? She's the one that's made Razvan feel insecure up until now, but now that he's returned the favour, she doesn't like it one bit.
It sounds like you don't even know if you want to be together with me right now.
I don't know.
Razvan is finally seeing this relationship clearly. He now sees just how one-sided everything was. But the question is he going to make the same mistakes as his last relationship? Is he going to stay with Amanda hoping that she'll change? Or has he learnt his lesson?